Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's a beautiful day today, and I'm going to be working on my Margarete Miller. This is week 32. So let's see. We have something that hangs on a wall. So I have this woman that's going into my story today. She's got a basket and a hat, which in my household hangs on a hook by the door on the wall. So I have her. Something textured like embossed or raised paper. I've already covered the back of my usual card with this cardstock. I don't know if you can see. This is what I used the last time that we had this prompt, because we had this prompt already this year. And I don't have a lot of embossed things. So I just am using the other portion of the paper from the last challenge that used this. Something in shades of blue. Okay, I have this torn out from a magazine photo. You can see there's all different shades of blue in this photo. Something with wheels. I'm using this as a double one, so it's the blue and there's a little car. A picnic item. I have fussy cut out a little picnic basket. A hinge or a flap. This is going to be going on my page. And it's going to flip up and hopefully look good. Yeah, so let's get started. I'm trying to just do this kind of mellow. Sometimes I get anxious when I start these. And I'm gonna I also have this little piece that I'm putting down at the bottom. I didn't want the whole photo, but I wanted a little bit of, I don't know how to make, or of this photo, this magazine cutout. It had a whole crosswalk here, but I didn't want the whole crosswalk, so I cut it out. And I just want a little bit of this because I didn't like how the tan of the paper and the sort of cement color, they just sort of looked anyway. I wanted a little bit of a sort of contrast going on down there, and so but I wanted to get it under there before I sealed it, because if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know that half the time I forget the things that I'm going to glue under stuff. So, and then I have this half a sun. So my story today is that a few stories ago, I did one about having lunch with fish and wine on some coastline in Europe. And Annie from My Creative Detour and I joked about we'd meet up in Portugal. So this is more of my trip to Portugal. And today is a day to go to the beach. Let's see if this will stay down. This is a transparency from, I think, Allie Edwards, but it doesn't seem to want to stay. Let's put this on top of that for now. And then I have this little quote: friends, sun, sand, and sea. That sounds like a summer to me. I don't know what it's from, where I got it from. It says it was an unknown quote, but it's funny because I don't like I'm definitely an ocean I love to see the ocean. I love to be near the ocean. But I don't like sand. I don't like sand really getting on me. And that was the nice thing, that when we went to the French Riviera last year for one part of our trip, they did not have sand. It was small pebbles. So that was, to me, very nice. See, so now it's going to flip up. And it looks like it's, I've been trying to do more glue stick because, and then go back in and put it with a stronger glue, because I always have to move my stuff, and that glue, the one I use, the art glitter, it's almost exact, you know, as soon as you use it, it adheres it. And when I make mistakes, it's very hard to move it. So I'm going to put my little picnic basket here. So the story is, on this day in Portugal, I've packed up a lunch for either my husband and I, or a friend of I, whoever I'm traveling with. And I may have to do the other glue for that. We are going down to the beach. I have this little saying that says, "Let's go explore," that I'm going to put on here. And then I have a little word I'm going to put on there. Anyway, yeah, so because the area that I live in, there's only like once or twice a year that you can even, it's even worth it to go down to the beach. Last year in the French Riviera, we swam in the ocean, and that is really something absolutely amazing to do there. We went to this little small town south of Nice, and so now I see I've glued her down, but her hat is too tall. So I'm going to move her down just a little bit there. And there's the reason I am using glue sticks. In case you can't tell, I still, as usual, have travel on the mind. But, yeah, so my story is, we're spending the day at the beach, take the car down, park it, find a nice place to set up our blanket. I've packed a lunch, and we're spending the day there. So funny, because sometimes these rub-ons, like, you barely put them down and they're stuck. All right. I had thought to put one of these seagull stickers, but I think they're going to be too, I think they're too big. I also kind of like these stars. I mean, these clouds. I can't decide if that actually looks kind of cute. So I thought was one of these seagulls down here, just because seagulls are so, I realize he's almost as big as the car. I just kind of wanted a fun little ocean page. Because I don't think I considered him up here. I think I like him down here. I need something here, but I'm not terribly concerned about it at the moment. Let me see what I have in my little junk. Looking for just something that makes it look a little more finished. Do you know what I mean? I had hoped that I had a little piece of yellow, because I have this brown piece. I kind of wanted, that's not bad. That's where I throw all of my unused on a project. If I don't use it, I throw it in there, and then I try to use it on an upcoming project, so it doesn't, because oftentimes those are things that I would just pack away, and so sometimes it's nice to have it right there. There, yeah, I just wanted a little something, but we're gonna just stick, I see, to me. So that is today's. Ugh. Can I get it to stick there? Anyway, I hope everybody's having a really good day. Sorry, I'm gonna. When you get to the very bottom of the baby wipes, using baby wipes, it is very, very, very wet. Sorry, I'm going to wipe the glue off there, and I'm actually going to use this glue on this so that it seems like it's not sticking with the stick. I have to go back and put I just didn't want it to look so blank. There. All right, so sorry about that. So let's go over, yeah, the glue stick got everywhere. So we have something that hangs on a wall. That's this bag and the hat. Something textured or embossed. That's the background. Something is shades of blue. That's the ocean here. Something with wheels. There's a car. A picnic item. That is our beach lunch. And a hinge or a flap. Well, there I've made a tag on a hinge that flips up. Yeah. I feel like at week 30, well, the last couple of weeks, I feel like I've really gotten into some of these challenges and enjoyed what I've been making. So that has been fun. I wasn't sure I was going to continue this one next year because I just was not having much fun with it, but I've kind of changed things up, and that seems to be working for me. I think sometimes when I try to do I think I need to look closer at things that make the story work for me on each one. All right, that is week 32. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.